If you were expecting this Fragments of Silicon to be the second show today, surprise, we were too.
I suppose we should start by explaining what that was about in case someone is listening to this in the future, which is there's a good chance of that. So we were originally supposed to have the MSP show at 7:30 Eastern to accommodate a guest that was going to appear on that program, but they came down with the flu at the last second, so that had to be canceled. As far as rescheduling goes, that is all up in the air. Obviously, pending a recovery. So, I would anticipate sometime in May, but we'll see how that turns out. That being said, welcome to Fragments of Silicon. I am your host, Adam. Joining me, as always, are Galix and Pettyfan. And let us get to the general news. Petty, start us off this week.
Well, I guess the big news is I'm a dumbass. My computer
That's not news.
my computer ended up restarting, and when it did the prompt thing. Hey, you can upgrade to Windows 11. I thought I clicked cancel. I did not. So yeah, I'm now running Windows 11. All my menus are weird. I don't like it. And it happened.
How does it run?
Hmm?
How does it run? It's good?
As far as I can tell, I haven't really tried to play many games yet, but as far as regular day-to-day tasks, it seemed to be fine.
How long ago?
Yeah, because
hang on. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just remember like similar experience like 5 years ago, something like that. Like when it was a Windows 10 turn, like I was very happy on my Windows 8, and suddenly one time I start my computer and then it say, "Oh, welcome to Windows 10." I was panicking. So well, I guess every 5 years we're gonna have like those kind of
Maybe.
Like, well, I mean, Windows 10 is supposed to be supported up to 2025, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I am absolutely not in a hurry to upgrade.
I keep forgetting Windows 11 exists.
Well, and I mean, my computer's still telling me that it can't upgrade, even though it theoretically fits every...
Well, you might not have the TPM thing enabled.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Windows 11 actually requires quite a bit. It's one of...
Yeah, but I've been over this with Mac and with Pettyfan, and I think we couldn't find anything that I don't seem to have.
It's probably as simple as turning on the TPM thing in BIOS, which,
Probably that, or
if you really want it, I can help you.
That or making the dumb... Like, it tells me, if you download this app, maybe we can tell you what we need to do. So when I need to update, I'll probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, not in a hurry.
Understandable.
Right.
But yeah, I also ended up needing to get a new surge protector for my room. Luckily, it didn't... Nothing blew up. It's just, it's really old that if I end up bumping into it, I guess something in it is loose, and everything shuts off, so it's like, yeah, no, let's not leave this like this. Last we need is a K to abruptly end the show unwittingly.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's been fun, and, yeah, other than that, not a whole lot's been going on.
Okay.
So I guess next victim?
Galix?
Had a cookout at work today that was nice for lunch. Otherwise, had a good. This past weekend was we celebrated my birthday and my sister's birthday. She came up. Had a nice dinner. Accidentally overcooked the steak when I was trying to reheat it. And just the other day, some DLC came out for Super Robot Wars 30, which I'm getting towards endgame of. So that'll be. I've already played some of it, but it's interesting.
Also, something Digimon Survive is coming finally.
Digimon Survive finally has a release date, and it's apparently the same date as Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so we'll see how that goes. Honestly, the niche that Digimon Survive is trying to fill is a lot less empty than it was when it was initially announced for fucking ever ago.
Yeah.
But I still hope that the game will be okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'm quite hyped for Digimon games in general. Even though I think that like for me, the only one that I truly really loved was Digimon World 1 on the PS1. To me, like this game was everything.
Unlike
Then,
Pokemon, Digimon, each game really is pretty much trying to do its own thing. The first one was literally taking the virtual pet monster raising thing, because that was the main thing of the franchise at the time, and then making that the main mechanic of an RPG. And they released one of the PlayStations had
Saturn.
updated. Yeah, had a
Saturn had an actual virtual pet, I guess. Type
Oh no, I was gonna say
thing.
Digimon. Digimon World Next Order, I think. There's one of them. One of the Digimon World games actually pretty much does the same thing, but with a few more.
Order.
Yeah, with a few more mechanical things. Then
like
the
a remaster,
story games, which are the ones that have been big lately, are much more traditional RPG with a lot of grinding and evolving and devolving. But then Survive was, I mean, they didn't say as much, but it's very closely looks like the specific actual otherwise existing game Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, only with Digimon instead of demons. It's like the same kind of strategy RPG.
Game. I just remember seeing one trailer where, like from a very long time ago, and I thought back then it was going to be like a tactical game, like Fire Emblem or something like that. But
yeah, Survive is the battles are gonna be Fire Emblem style, sort of. But and then in between that, there's gonna be a lot of like visual novel character affinity segments that can apparently affect like what people's things evolve into, and also some of your characters can die depending on what you do, apparently. Which is why I say that it's very much pointing in the direction of Devil Survivor, which also had that as like the main theme. So we'll see how it comes out. Hopefully it's good, because we've certainly been waiting long enough.
Right. Anything else?
I think that's all I got.
All right. Guess it's my go then. Geez, let's see. Not much going on for me this week. Like, fine. Weather's kind of yo-yoing, as a bit of a cold front. But it's apparently supposed to start really warming up soon. Always fun. Still a bit off from the perpetual 95 degrees that summer brings. But let's see. In gaming news, I have completed Retro City Rampage DX and have moved on to outside of stuff for the show, playing Shenmue 1 and 2. Not too much, since I just loaded it up today, but wow. I'm not sure if it was the porting job or if it just, this game is like 20 some odd years old. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really stiff, and I will say some of it comes from the fact that it's a Dreamcast game and thus lacking that second analog stick. So shifting the camera is not good.
Mm.
Like, and yeah, I suppose that's all my news this week. So merrily we shall roll along to the interview portion of the broadcast. And joining us this week is Gael Flores of Kastelsoft.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Good. Right. So how we like
Oh,
to
I
get?
just realized.
Hmm?
I just realized that earlier when you asked me, how I'm doing, yeah, you were asking me for some news. Why I just said, oh yeah, I'm good. uh, Sorry about it. Yeah, because I can actually share a bit of something. I
Go.
actually believe it or not, but last week for my first time I actually watched the Lord of the Ring trilogy basically for the first time.
I guess.
And,
Interesting.
and it's really good. Um, I think, yeah, I mostly like the first two movies. I thought that like the third one, like, yeah, like, well, wasn't as good as basically like what was promised in the first two, but yeah, well, like, indeed surprise, it's a good trilogy. Well, yeah, like, I don't know, I guess that for like a many years before, yeah, like of course, like I've seen like a clips and like part of the movies, but I feel that, yeah, that unless you actually watch, well, sit down and watch it, yeah, like, well, like that's kind of like a hard to really get into it, like since it's like quite long, and when you just like watch like a part of it, you just see like people talking, and then, yeah, like you have like some fight, but yeah, like nothing too exciting, but yeah, if you really like sit with some friend and you just watch from like a start to finish, wow, it's really really good. So yeah, well, that's yeah, well, that's my
Mm-hmm.
news.
Okay. Like. Anyway, so how we like to get the interview proper started is we like to get to know the people behind the games, the studio, and all that. And we start by asking this particular question: what got you interested in video games, both on a personal and a professional level?
um well, so I've always been obsessed with, well, ever since I was a kid, like even in elementary school, um, but I was playing Rayman, Rayman One,
Right.
and just, yeah, even when I was like going to school, I was still like singing the songs because I just find, like the music so, like, I don't know, just like so good. I was even, yeah, just like replaying kind of like the scenarios of like the video games I was playing. Yeah, just like like where with my friends I was saying like, okay, now you are seeing this monster. Do you want to fight it? Now you have like a 100 HP and then this and that. Yeah, so even when I basically, well, like, couldn't make any games, I was basically like doing everything I could to just like being in this game world. And then, yeah, then, well, as I grew up, I thought, well, I really want to make games, so, yeah, well, let's learn programming, and from programming, yeah, well, I've always tried to keep making games on the side. Well, even though it's only until like a quite recently that I just started to like go really like a full time on it. Yeah, but for me that has always been like some part of me that, yeah, like, well, always try to make games on the side.
And was there a particular event or opportunity that allowed you to finally make a, let us say, a commercially available game?
No, actually, no. There is like not really a dramatic event. Basically, yeah, like for me, like since the beginning of my career, so I've always been basically working as a web developer during the day, and then yeah, and then like a game dev during the night, and that has been going on for like yeah, like pretty much like 10 years. And 2 years ago, well, I've saved enough money to basically okay, now I can sustain myself for long enough to at least release one game. So that yeah, that's what I did 2 years ago, and then yeah, well, started working on a few different prototypes, and yeah, well, and I ultimately well started developing Jetbounce, and this one I managed to release it.
Right. So I suppose it's a good time to shift to Jet Bounce in particular. And I suppose the first question I have was there any particular reason you decided to work on a VR title for your debut as a developer?
Actually, um, um, in 2013 to 2015, I actually worked on another, well, made another a platformer. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Yes. So I released a game called Isbara, which is basically a mashup between platformers and a shoot them up. So, yes, so basically imagine that you are Mario, but where you have to like jump and dash to avoid like a bullet hell, a kind of scenario. So that's so well. So I spent 2 years making this with a team, and well, commercially speaking, well, it didn't do well, so I had to basically go back to a job, and then yeah, then during my well, so at my work, um, we had basically to do some VR work. Well, for some clients, then yeah, then some of my friends said, oh, actually, VR is pretty cool. This is called the Oculus Quest, and now they are actually some cool games, and that was kind of like my first time reaching VR, and I really thought about, oh, actually, okay, like VR can actually be played, and that's like not just a gimmick. So then yeah, um, then so I actually got a dev tool kit from Oculus. So I got the Oculus Rift S, and yeah, I think I just like a goofed off for like 2 3 months here, just like playing with like different mechanics, like trying to fly, trying to shoot, jumping and everything. And I think yeah, that when I got like some prototype when I could like jump and like yeah, just like to explore some virtual world well, in VR, then I thought, okay, I have to do this because this is like a really unique. I haven't seen anything like this where anywhere else. Yeah. Then I really thought, okay, well, let me go full in, and that's how I basically started.
I can say that having a 3D collectathon platformer in and of itself isn't unique. I think like one of the earlier or even earliest VR games I can think of in the modern age is Lucky's Tale. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but this is like looking at the footage here. This I know the marketing board.
Okay, yeah. Just so.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, I would say that's kind of like difference between let's say a Crash Bandicoot and Super Mario 64. But like you could say that both of them are like platformers where like you jump and everything. But the thing about like Super Mario 64 is that you are really free to be here. Like you can skip, you can re-explore the world, you can find shortcuts. You have just like a like so many different ways to go around well the levels where yeah like a Crash Bandicoot or like a Super Lucky Steel, they are much more like a yeah like a one-way direction where again like you still jump and do these kind of things, but this is not really like the freedom or kind of improvisation that you can do in Super Mario 64. So for me, like that was kind of like the spirit that I wanted to make.
Okay. And yeah, I think that is reflected because, as I was about to say, because I know like the marketing blurbs here say that this is, a let's say 6th gen collectathon style platformer. When, if I'm being honest here, it really isn't. At least in terms of its like actual design, because I don't remember like a PlayStation game looking like this. Not in terms of like graphical, outside of Jumping Flash. Now that I think about it, but that's more the exception rather than the rule. Like first person jumping didn't really catch on, at least back in the day. And I suppose my next question is, how difficult was it to bring platforming to VR, especially having to deal with things like motion sickness?
Actually, I would say that like my first 6 months was really just to wrestle with this concept that because the thing is so in VR, like you can put it on and you can like physically run or just like take a few steps on the right. So then you can think about okay, like so what should we do if the player is like a walking forward physically in his space? Should we actually make the character inside work as well? Because then like well, because if like you could have Mario to actually start walking through walls, well, you wouldn't really have like a much of a game. And actually, like there was like quite a few games that like kind of like requires you to like move your hands to run or like do these kind of things. But to me, I didn't really want to add like a gimmick moves as making like a part of the core gameplay. I always just wanted to really just use um, the like okay like the hand motion when this was really like the best way of using it as opposed to like a regular control. So actually like that's why um well that's we said to like work on how to actually move when you can actually just like aim with your hands as opposed to like trying to replicate running and jumping. So it's something that we basically tried 3 different iteration of basically the same game of just like trying different movements. So our like a first try was basically like very similar to Mario 64. We even did like a system when like basically the camera only moves when you make the camera move. So basically kind of like in the old Resident Evil, when your character has to walk far enough for the camera to update. We had something quite similar to that. But again, then so at the end, we just found that okay, so if we want to be in first person, where we can't really have like the like same mechanics as in Mario, so that so basically just like tailored everything basically for VR.
That does make sense, and probably the right move given the VR space. And um, I can say that first-person jumping is not unfamiliar for like if you've played anything from say Mirror's Edge to even like old school FPS games. It is there, and this can potentially rectify one of the biggest problems I've had with first person jumping in, let's say 2D space. And that is, it's hard to know where you are relative to the platform. Because, a lot of games don't code in feet.
Hmm.
And and that is actually kind of important because first person jumping, it's hard to get a sense of where the actual platforms are in relation to your space because you can't see it. And at any rate,
yeah, actually, first person compared to third person, when you are talking about movement base, it's actually a disadvantage because, like, yeah, because like, well, in transforming, of course, there is gravity, so you need to know, okay, well, what's under you because, like, well, that's like the ground or the next platform. But then you also need to see, okay, like, well, what's over your head to not bump your head, what's ahead of you. So, yeah, so usually in first person, you can't really see like your feet and what's ahead of you at the same time. Well, yeah, like third person platformers, yeah, like well, you can just see that just fine. So yeah, so that's why in general, first person, well, yeah, like that's why yeah, like a third person is usually like the preferred way to have like a real, a traditional platformers, like yeah, like Mario, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot. For I would say that for first person, it's actually a bit closer to like a racing games, yeah, like a Mirror's Edge, where like yeah, like this is more about like keeping the speed, as opposed to like really just doing like a tight platforming, like you would do in like a Crash Bandicoot, for example.
Right. And in terms of the collectathon portion of the platforming, how much collecting do you do, and what are you collecting?
Yeah, so so we say okay, like the main collectible is like in Super Mario 60, in Super Mario 64 where you have the stars. So basically, so you go in the first world and you need basically what 4 stars to unlock the path to the next world. And yeah, so that's what yes. So we have the stars. Then so another type of collectible, it's well actually a puzzle pieces that is like well like the design is actually pretty similar to what we have in a Banjo-Kazooie, and those it's actually to unlock some abilities that basically allow you to redirect your speed. So basically like that can allow you to make like a longer jumps or to recover your falls or to gain more speed. So basically like this is like a multi-purpose tool, and yeah. So you basically collect those puzzle pieces to level up this ability.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
the third, and the third collectible is like basically fuel for this collectible. So yeah, so that yeah, like you can't just use it. You need to sometimes yeah, like find those like blue crystals to recover it. So yeah, so to finish the game, you only need the stars. But then yeah, like well, if you want, you can actually kind of like spend some time to find or like more puzzle pieces than you need to make the game easier. So yeah, so there's like this like yeah this freedom. Okay, like do you want to like not collect everything, but then yeah just like go quite hardcore with like a limited power ups, or yeah if you're more like a completionist, then at least like you will get like a more benefit, like yeah like a more power ups, so that the game is easier.
Right. And especially along those lines, there are, as I understand it, the 2 modes to this game: the power mode and the flow mode. What are those in relation to each other?
So okay, so initially when we made a jet bounce, okay, so we had like a few playtests, and 90% of the players couldn't finish the first level, like because yeah, like like because like kind of like with the nature of the game, like like you kind of like bounce and like you don't really like jump. You basically like thrust with like a rocket to basically boost yourself. So basically yeah, like so you basically have, well some learning curves to master the game to even just do like proper precise jumps, which had like this freedom allows you to like go like really fast, and yeah, like you can feel really cool. But yeah, but actually like for most players, this is just too hard. So then we thought, okay, let's make another mode that is called the flow mode, which basically has much easier control. Like you don't go as fast. Fuel management is much easier, and yeah, and then so this mode, well, like most people are able to actually play it and have a good time, and this one feels actually just like a much more like a regular collectathon, like a Banjo Kazooie, for example. While actually like a power mode is actually much more like getting over it. You know, like a 4D games where like Becky, the frustration and the change of just like a moving where you want to go is actually like a part of the game itself. So yeah, so we have like two modes for like a two type of players. One type is like regular players who just want to have a good time. That's flow mode, and for those who really want to suffer and to really just like master the movements and at the end like really be rewarded by like a very fast and smooth movement, then those can play a power mode.
And so one of the bits we've been seeing in the trailer here is this giant eye with the lasers and kind of a bullet hell stage. Is that a boss encounter?
Yeah. This is at the end of every levels. You have basically kind of like a racing course where like the goal is just to reach the end while dodging a laser. And yeah, like we basically made this section to kind of like a break from the like most of the game is basically about you trying to find all of those collectibles and trying to get there. So that's kind of like the main change. And actually like the boss that you would think is harder and more stressful is actually much more relaxing than the rest of the game, for the reason that the path is very clear and there is like not really a change on like getting there. It's just can you get there? Like, can you reach the end fast enough? And like without screwing up too much. So, yeah, so this is really to kind of like give some breather to the player, compared to like the rest of the game, which is like really that you're at the bottom of the mountain, and well, either you climb it or you stay at the bottom. So yeah, like this is like a small change of pace.
Okay. And shifting to the stages themselves, so we're seeing in the trailer here like very like we got a city environment here, and we've seen some others, and they're all shockingly abstract. As opposed to, once again, if we're talking more classical platformers, they tend to be biome featured, ice level, desert level, grass level, jungle level, that kind of thing. What made you go in this artistic direction?
Okay, so really, so our like first, it's more about like a budget constraint that like what can we do that will still look okay, but well like knowing that okay, so there was Becky, so in the team, so there was me plus one that could do like a 3D modeling plus some texture. But yeah, you can imagine that like without like a real team for like like environment design, we really had to think about okay, like like what can we do that we can like decently make while still staying under our budget. So I think that like this was mostly our like main constraint. That yes, so just try to find some like a concept, some images that we liked, and then just like Becky tried to use kind of like a limited amount of like textures or like models to yeah, well to yeah, well, so that's what we can just basically like move forward with actually finishing the game. Yeah.
And how many people worked on Jet Pounds here overall?
Okay, so at the peak there was 3 people. So there was me who was doing mostly the programming and level design. Then there was one who did the modeling, texturing, plus some level design, and then we also had like one other programmer who also did like some coding and a level design.
And how was the music supplied?
Oh yeah, so we basically well just requested some freelancers to make the music, and actually like half of the music was already um, made for a previous game that we actually never released. And since like most of the music was already like really good, we thought okay, like, let's reuse that music. Well, no one will actually tell the difference. We still um, we still ordered like a few new music that were original to Jet Bounce, but yeah, like it was all freelance work.
Right. And so how long has the game been out?
Uh, it's been it's been out since January 20th for the Oculus Quest, you know, like the standalone. And in February we also released it for Steam, so that PC VR players can play it as well.
Okay. And what's the reception been?
Yeah, well, so critically speaking, I think yeah, well, like actually most people who play it, they really enjoy it because it's actually like quite original in the VR space, yeah, to just like be quite free, like in the a collectathon. Um, so I think yeah that, but then yeah, so it also really depends on like who's playing it, because we have some cases where like you have like a one reviewer who plays the game for like 40 minutes, he's still stuck in the first level, while you have someone else who can finish the game within like a 1 hour. So I think yeah that like since this is actually like a quite a niche game, like for, yeah, like the platformer, a collectathon plus like quite a changing movement. Um, I think yeah, like that really makes for like a very a niche product. So that well, usually yeah, only the players who can really resonate with it and that are like really good with like movement based game, they are well they really like it. For most others, yeah, like yeah, well they think it's nice, but I think yeah, that like they don't usually go past the second level. So I think yeah, that like that's still quite a niche game.
Yeah, I can see that. And
But
how's it been?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but like from our like top players, yeah, like I've been like really surprised to see yeah that like some they really like you see like a 3 4 people who have actually like played the game over and over, like finished the game like or at least like 20 times. Yeah, just like always like trying to like finish it further because I feel yeah that like this game is kind of like 2 games. Like first is yeah like to actually play the game normally and to finish it, and the second game comes when you really master the movements, when it's about yeah like okay like what path and what tricks can you use to actually finish it as fast as possible. So yeah, so I think yeah that if you are that if a player is like really into speedrunning, then yeah then he's really going to enjoy the game. Yeah, so yeah, so it really depends on the profile of the player.
Okay. And how's it faring sales wise?
So this was well. Well, I would say, well, not so good. I would say, so in the Oculus Quest, I think we probably did well around like well 140 sales, and on Steam, I think we have like a 70. So yeah, well, so as you know, yeah, like those numbers that like well, pretty bad. So yeah.
I suppose. Do you think you'll be able to continue on as a developer, or will you have to bounce back to a day job?
No. I think yeah, that's where we still have quite enough time to, well, first make new levels to the game. Yeah, well, basically to well to try to get like a new players, but also yeah, we have been thinking about yeah like to add multiplayers, to think about yeah like some kind of like a new business model, because so. So as an indie in VR, I actually feel that to do a premium game, well, so you need like you're going to need like quite a bit of luck, yes, like to attract the attention of enough players, and I'm thinking yeah that well so this game didn't cut it yet to to remake to remake an impact, you know, like for like a most VR players to notice it. So we thought, okay, maybe we can try more like a free-to-play model. Like I said, we have a multiplayer, and then you can buy a cosmetics, and then you can race. So I think that still Jet Bounce is going to be very useful in like how we are going to pivot in the future. But in the meantime, yeah, it's still good to at least know that some players really like it, because actually to me, like that's kind of like the most important, that like regardless of like how it was received commercially, that this game was good or really good for at least a few players. It at least tells you yeah that like there is a some potential, and then yeah then like how can you actually take those bits that were really fun for those players, and yeah like how can you like try to make it like more accessible for more players. And I think yeah that there is like a quite well I think who doesn't like well basically free games, but especially on the Oculus Quest, I think yeah that like there's quite a big market in like a players mostly playing like a free games, because actually like the demographic of the headset, yeah, like this, like it's actually quite young. Yeah, so I was thinking, yeah, that's like well, so we tried a one premium game, and now like yeah, like for like the next project, I think yeah, we are going to try like free one.
Well, good luck to you on that. Is your next project going to be another platformer, or are you looking to do something else?
I think yeah that we are still going to keep the platform, because yeah well first because we already have all of the engine for it, so I think yeah like it would be really smart for us to use that, and I think yeah like I still like I'm just really drawn to like a movement based games, and I think yeah that like that Jet Bounce is really fun, so I think yeah that for us it's really worth it to just try again basically, but differently.
That's my last question, at least in regards to Jet Bounce, is: are you looking to bring that to, like, say, the PlayStation VR platform?
Yeah, of course. Now of course I've considered it. Now it's more yeah like a question of like priority, because yeah like every post they take like some time and some attention. So I was just thinking about yeah like should we spend time to get to to port this game to PlayStation VR, or should we yeah spend this time to actually like to add like more levels or to make like this game more attractive. There is like just like a not really a definite answer, but yeah, like now I'm mostly just like trying to follow about okay, that I really want to to give more to basically the fans, and I think yeah, so that's why like now I'm mostly focused on like this like a new expansion to really like give more value to the players who already enjoy the game, as opposed to like try to stretch the game to like a new platforms. Um, and actually, very soon we are going to be a release into like the Pico Neo, which is basically the Chinese competitor to the Oculus Quest. So we still have like this like a new platform that where we still have some hopes to maybe sell more there.
And I'll see if my colleagues here have any further questions for you.
I think I'm good.
I'm going to assume Galax is good as well. Right. So, well, it was good having you on our program tonight and for you to tell us about your game Jet Bounce here. It is unfortunate to hear that it's not doing so well in the marketplace, but hopefully things will pick up and hopefully your next project will go smoother in terms of sales. Any rate, the game is Jet Bounce. It's currently available on the Oculus, or sorry, the MetaQuest store now, and the Steam store for $14.99. Be sure to pick it up today on either platform. Petty, play us to the next segment. So, welcome to the topic of discussion. So, this week, we had one of those last minute rewrites. Maybe not the right word to use since we don't actually write anything down, but we do.
We had one of those things where game news happens on like the day of the show.
Yeah. Pretty significant, especially in terms of this crew. Looking at you, Petty Fan, if I could do that.
Sonic go burr.
Well, more like Sonic hit the wall again.
Leave me to my fantasies, okay?
I mean,
You're talking about the movie?
no, we are talking about Sonic Origins. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, oh boy.
They have announced another remakes of Sonic thing that this time includes Sonic and Knuckles.
No, well, this thing was